Hello Sagittarius and welcome to your weekly reading. Okay, so let's see what's coming in for you. We are in Leo season, so that should be very compatible fire energy for you still. And they wanted me to mention your ruler Jupiter, your planetary ruler Jupiter is moving into retrograde. So, but that's actually going to be an interesting time, more of an internalized energy of seeking some kind of internal wisdom or internal discovery, like a sense of really feeling this more on the divine feminine. So it's interesting in terms of your message is listen. Listen, and anyone of you that has a degree point in Sagittarius from 0 to 16 degrees, you're going to be really feeling this. So if you know your astrology chart, the Jupiter energy is actually, I think, bringing some ease. It's bringing expansion, but it's now going back into this retrograde energy of giving you a little taste of what it is that want you to be working on and expanding. And now we're going back. We're going back and looking over the story again and seeing if there's something you've missed along the way. Something that, because it's going to end up going back into Pisces, and for whatever reason they're telling me this now, because it's, for whatever reason, I'm getting this information now. It's not actually going into Pisces this week. It's still going to be in Aries, but it's this sense of going back to this very highly spiritual energy, the last few degrees of Pisces, and saying, getting some messages from that high spiritual realm about something that they want you to go back and get this information so you can move this and bring this forward. So that's why you're getting the listen card. And I feel like this is listen to your spirit, listen to those messages, listen to those higher messages that Jupiter is giving to you. So listen, and it's a very internal energy, like I mentioned. So listen, but you can apply that also to listen to other people, listen to what is it around you, quite literally, that the information's coming to you. What are you hearing? So we have the Two of Crystals, a balance and adaptability. So I feel like this is interesting because this is the equivalent of the Two of Pentacles. This little kangaroo here is hopping its way to new horizons, but it does require flexibilities. Every time you take a new step or you achieve something new or you're heading in a totally different direction with something and you're like, I'm going to try this over here or let's do that now. It is requiring a sense of using your ability to balance mid-flight so that you land. Like the kangaroo, you land well. And so this is where I kind of feel like you might be mid-jump and you're listening and hearing, okay, where do I want to land? So it's very, I feel like it's like there's a lot of new goal setting that could be coming in with this. It is requiring some flexibility because the universe is giving you a lot of deep internal guidance that's coming through with this at this moment in time. So it may even be that you think, right, I'm going this direction. And halfway there, you get this message shift. We're going that way instead. So I just get it's a sense that, in terms of the direction and the goals that you're setting this week or at this moment, whether they're longer term goals, just be open to those messages. So let's see what's shifting this week. Let's see. Because I feel like what it's doing is it's this very indirect path. They're showing me like a zigzag. It's kind of like going dun, 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 rather than going straight. You're going down this path of new horizons, but it's not, like I said, a linear straight line. What's shifting and changing? The Ten of Swords and the Hierophant. These are my Mythic Tarot deck. What's shifting and changing is what you're saying no to. Yeah, and we have the Hierophant. So this is Chiron, the wounded healer, but Chiron is interesting because he also, as the Hierophant, represents higher self, higher knowledge, higher learning, and that's that internalized Jupiter retrograde energy of the Jupiter energy is wanting to bring this expansion, but it's an internal expansion. So we're seeing here that this Hierophant energy is a very wise higher self, giving you, again, listen to these messages, telling you what you need to say no to as you're kind of making these new leaps here with the Two of Crystals. Interesting because this Ten of Swords is very much just saying no, shutting a door, end of chapter, not doing that, not going down that path anymore. So that's kind of where I got the sense that mid-flight you might shift and change direction, which is really fascinating. The Hierophant energy is also about healing. So healing wounds. The story is that Chiron was a great healer but couldn't heal his own wounds. So it may be that you are saying no to some things because you're getting a message that this is going to help your healing process. So that's something that's coming through. We've also got Page of Cups. This is Narcissus. What's shifting and changing, what's being reflected back to you, what you're seeing, whether you like what you're seeing or not. It may be if there's someone around you who quite literally is a narcissist, there may be a sense of you might need to kind of be, they're showing me like you jumping around them. Kind of, you might have to, I kind of get the sense that you might be changing your strategy. So you keep them on their toes. They never know what your next move is going to be. So I kind of feel like, if you're dealing with a narcissist, have this very flexible game plan, because they don't want you to like be drawn into any of this energy as well. They just want you to leap around this energy, like leapfrog over it, sidestep it. They don't want you to confront this energy of the narcissist. So if there is someone around you who's very narcissistic, that's what I would say. But ultimately, the Page of Cups being the narcissist energy in this particular deck is about self-love, about liking what's being reflected back to you. And so that is also something, you might be getting some messages from your higher self where you're seeing something being reflected back to you and you have to say no to it. Interesting. So again, listen, it's this big message that's coming through at this moment in time, because you are navigating new horizons. It's opening you up to new possibilities, and it's almost like you're jumping through these very kind of tricky, intricate energies around these potentially very difficult people, or you're moving past barriers or restrictions. And you're just finding this very kind of almost mercurial way of moving around things that the goalposts are constantly changing. It's not some set thing. So you're not wanting to get kind of locked into something at this moment in time as well. So I'm kind of getting with contracts, really look at the fine print. You don't want to get locked into something like it's like a particular term, like a 5-year contract, if that's something you don't want. If it is something you do want, then that's great. But just be really aware of what energy is trying to lock you in and pin you down this week, because this is not the energy for you to do that, to commit to something that feels like it's going to like hold you bound, because no, this is the week where you need to be flexible and flowing. Oh, we've got Justice. Okay, reversed. I'm just making sure I've got the deck up the right way. So this is about contracts. Again, the reversed energy can be around an internal energy. So I feel like can be both, is what they're saying. So this is a bit of might be things coming up around contracts, around negotiation, requiring a little bit of flexibility. And that's what we were saying about not wanting to get locked in. Now, reversed as well, maybe that something's been a little bit unfair, something's been out of balance, because, you've got the 2 cards of balance here, Justice card and the 2 of crystals. We can see the Justice normally holds the scales, but the scales are upside down. Also, like reversed, like it's more of an internalized energy as well. So it's this sense that you're looking at what you're agreeing to as well, what sort of internal contracts you are willing to sign or agree to at this moment in time. Yeah, you're the King of Swords, quite literally. So, or you're dealing with somebody like the King of Swords. This is very much, we're having a discussion here about this contract. So maybe you're talking to somebody about contracts. It could be like a meeting of some sort that comes through. Or this is just your logical mind going, I need to make some decisions about this. We got the King of Pentacles, so it definitely could be around money, your work, where the money's coming from, your material needs. So contracts around all of that sort of stuff with the King of Pentacles. Again, with these 2 King energies, you might be having discussions with, like, say, banks or bosses or businesses and things like that. Anything that's kind of money orientated or business orientated. Big choice, okay, with the Lovers card. Big choice coming up around some of these things. But yeah, the 8 of Wands feels like there's an opportunity here for a shift and change of direction. This, like the 2 of Crystals, I mean, this is about a very focused energy as well. but it's about a swift shift and change in direction, which is what we were getting here for the Two of Crystals, is that I feel like, you kind of shifting and changing a direction with something that's going to be this positive shift with the Eight of Wands and a new focus that's coming through. So that feels really positive. And we have the Two of Swords, which is, decision looming, pending, waiting for a decision to be handed down or waiting for decisions to come through. Decisions may not have been made yet. This can be hesitation about making a decision as well, not sure what information to trust. So that's why the listen energy is really, really important. And this with the Justice energy and the King of Swords, this can be legalities as well. So this could be if you're waiting for some kind of legal decision, this is the week that you might have a sense that there's some sort of shift that's coming through with that. So the Two of Swords, waiting for some kind of decision to come through. So, I feel like, just in terms of your own personal energy and personal life, this is something that could be a really positive decision that you're making here around your shift of direction. And with that King of Pentacles energy, I definitely think it's to do with money, work, your financial stability. And it doesn't necessarily mean, like I'm changing jobs. Maybe you're doing something very differently here. Maybe you're adding more technology to what it is, or maybe you are considering like a big change in role or change of direction or change of career, or maybe you're thinking of like, shifting your, however your money is working around the home, what sort of contracts you've got coming in. I just feel like, the King of Pentacles doesn't have to just be money. It can just be your material needs. So it can be around your home and your health as well. Your possessions, what you've got around you, maybe you're making decisions around that as well. But I feel like it's like with the Eight of Wands, there's a very positive shift that's coming through with this, or the ability to shift and change directions. So if you're kind of thinking you're not happy with how something's going. So this is your affirmation card. It says, my life works beautifully. Everything in my life works now and forevermore. So that's why I think that this thing is kind of like a solution that's coming through where something's been a little bit out of balance, and it's requiring a lot of flexibility and allowing your life to start working beautifully. So listen to that internal energy that's coming through. And I think that this is you are the owner of your mind. You're the owner of your thoughts. Some of these things can be things that are happening externally to you as well. So if you are hearing of like external decisions that are being handed down, it is going to require a bit of adaptability to kind of work around it as well. So, but either way, with that Eight of Wands as the final card, I feel like it's kind of shifting your direction and to kind of just go with the flow with that. That feels like this is where the universe wants you to go with it, despite the fact that, depending on how it feels, but that's kind of where the universe is wanting at this moment in time. So that's it, Sagittarius. That's your reading. Please leave a comment. Interested to hear your comments, and please like, subscribe, share, and take care.